The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Harry's decision to attend the coronation distracted from this juicy story from Robert Jobson's new book, Our King. Jobson tells us the walkabout that saw William, Harry, Kate and Meghan greet well-wishers following the Queen's death last September was an illusion. A royal source said, the Prince of Wales thought it was an important show of unity at an incredibly difficult time for the family. Jobson writes, Catherine later admitted to a senior royal that such was the ill feeling between the two couples, the joint walkabout was one of the hardest things she'd ever had to do. Jobson has also suggested that Harry and Meghan losing their titles is currently being discussed at the highest level. The Mirror added that although Harry's prince title is a birthright that cannot be taken away, the Duke of Sussex title, a wedding gift from the late Queen Elizabeth, doesn't have the same restrictions. The Mirror opines, it has been long suggested the couple should be stripped of their titles since they quit their duties and uprooted for a new life in California, noting that the pair would instead use the royal family's familial surname, Mountbatten-Windsor, if put into effect. Jobson added in his book, King Charles is understood to not be in favour of axing Harry's royal title and has enduring love for his son, despite having made the decision that Meghan should not accompany Harry to Balmoral when the family gathered after the Queen died. The idea of stripping Harry of his Duke of Sussex title has been discussed at the highest level. The king is said not to be in favour, but other senior royals are less indulgent. Ultimately, despite Charles' enduring love for his son, he will come under increasing pressure if Harry continues to attack the monarchy. Some other items from Jobson's book. The royals were apparently shocked that Harry wanted to include Meghan on the day Queen Elizabeth died. A royal insider was quoted as saying, it did not go down well with the family. They were all shocked by his behaviour. We also learned the Queen Mother is said to have frowned upon his brashness and the way he treated Charles. Jobson writes, Philip would set very strict rules and expect Charles to meet incredibly high standards. It was a way to exert control over his behaviour or activities. There was little warmth towards his son, and growing up, Charles often felt lonely and isolated. On the flip side, William had been known to speak forcefully to his father. One exchange between them was so heated that it left Charles shaken. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Hey, do you ever wonder what kind of wines the royals drink? I think Meghan probably likes to toss back a couple of Merlots, while Harry's a Pinot Grigio guy. Well, do you really know what kind of wine drinker you are? Are you always trying different wines in search of something you like, only to throw away half-empty bottles? I couldn't tell you how many glasses of red I've had and gone, that's not me. Well, I want to introduce you to First Leaf. They're a subscription wine club that helps you finally find your perfect wine every time. Stay tuned, I'll tell you how to get 50% off at tryfirstleaf.com. You just go online and answer some quick questions about your likes and dislikes, and their experts will curate a selection of award-winning wines tailored to your taste, like refreshing rosés, fun sparkling wines, or spring-friendly reds. And they help you by letting you pick your favorite tastes and smells and then match that to the wine. Then you get to choose how often you receive your wine, and every selection is backed by First Leaf's 100% satisfaction guarantee. And because First Leaf cuts out the middleman and works directly with some of the world's foremost wine producers, you get quality wines at prices much lower than you'd pay at the store. I love sharing great wine with my friends and family, and I know you will too. So give First Leaf a try. Head over to tryfirstleaf.com/palace to sign up and save 50% on your first 6 bottles plus free shipping. That's try, first, F-I-R-S-T, leaf, leaf.com/palace to save 50% on your first 6 bottles plus free shipping. Try firstleaf.com/palace.
I'm Nina Hobson, ex-police detective from the UK. I've worked on every crime mentionable, from murder to kidnap to stalking to fraud. When I left the force, I launched my own investigations firm that soon became a global operation. I'm also a single mother of 2 to 2 members of my team, my son Harrison and daughter Amy. Every week, we'll be getting first-hand accounts from psychological experts, operatives, former criminals, actual victims of the crimes that we investigate, and of course, my very own flesh and blood. From Storic Media, you're listening to Codename Siren, a true crime podcast. Available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms.
Charles has banned television cameras from filming the moment he is anointed with holy oil before being crowned at Westminster Abbey. The Mirror reports Charles' decision to abandon plans to have a see-through canopy specially made has dashed speculation he would become the first monarch in history to be publicly anointed. Royal sources with knowledge of the coronation planning and procedures revealed the king decided he must respect his relationship with God. Charles has instructed organisers to follow the tradition of previous monarchs for the moment when the Archbishop of Canterbury pours holy oil from the ampulla onto the coronation spoon, anointing the sovereign on the hands, breast and head. Last time around, Queen Elizabeth was shown seated in the coronation chair under a canopy which was placed over her and held by the 4 Knights of the Garter before being shielded for the anointing by the archbishops. As scientists around the world work on the world's problems, such as hunger or the climate emergency, a crown has been made from 319 Scrabble pieces to pay homage to both the upcoming coronation and the popular word game's 75th anniversary. The Express reports the crown, made by British milliner Justin Smith of J. Smith Esquire, drew inspiration from the St. Edward's crown, which is to be used by King Charles during his coronation. It took more than 153 hours to put together. Ensuring the magic nature of the crown was reflected, sparkling jewels, crystals, and gold beading have been added to the black and white tiles. Mr. Smith said, "It was a labour of love to reimagine the most iconic of headwear, the St. Edward's crown with its rich royal heritage, utilising Scrabble tiles creatively alongside traditional millinery techniques to celebrate Scrabble's 75th anniversary, as well as honouring the King's coronation. If you look closely at the arrangement of the letters, you will see the words King, Coronation, and Royal. You will not see Meghan." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalacintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or your favourite podcast app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.